Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I am talking about Planet of the Apes by Pierre Boulle. Hopefully I've said his name correctly. As you can see, this is a 3D cover. This is from Vintage Classics or Vintage Paperback, and it came with 3D glasses. Planet of the Apes. So this book is about some astronauts who travel through space, land on this planet, and it's sort of a topsy-turvy world where humans are animals and the place is run by apes, and they have to try to survive and escape. So that's your nutshell of what this story is. Let's see. Let me see. There's something here that I wanted to share. Yes, this is translated from the French by Zan Fielding. So this is originally a French novel. And it was published in 1960-something. This has a copyright of 63, which I think is significant because the book starts with this couple that are sailing through space. Space travel is the norm, and these people have their own little sailing spaceship, and they're just on a holiday, and they amazingly come across, they spot a bottle floating through space, and they're able to catch it, bring it on board. They find a message, a manuscript inside the bottle. And so the gentleman, it's Jin and Phyllis, are the couple. Jin starts reading the manuscript because he can read English. So he's reading the manuscript. And his wife, Phyllis, keeps interrupting him. And he's like, hey, just let me read it. We're both hearing this for the first time. And the manuscript is telling the story of this reporter. And he and a scientist and the scientist's assistant are taking off in a rocket. It takes place in the year 2500. Again, space travel is relatively common. All the planets in the solar system have become inhabited. But this professor, or this scientist, has created a rocket that can travel at almost the speed of light. The difference is almost insignificant. So it's just him and his assistant and this reporter are going to take off. They're going to go to the Betelgeuse system. And the reporter's like, why don't we go to a closer place? And the scientist explains, well, we're going to be traveling at almost the speed of light. The amount of travel time is going to be the same no matter which place we go to, because it's going to take 1 year to accelerate to almost the speed of light, 1 year to decelerate from almost the speed of light. If we go to this closer place, it's going to be a year and then a couple hours traveling at almost the speed of light, and then a year of deceleration. Going to Betelgeuse is going to be a year, 4 days, and then a year. So the difference is negligible. Let's go to the further place. And he talks about relativity, how traveling at the speed of light, or almost the speed of light, time will move slower for them on the rocket than every place else. So in the 2 years that they're traveling, most significantly that part where they're traveling at almost the speed of light, hundreds and hundreds of years are going to pass on Earth, essentially. But anyway, so they take off, they travel for 2 years and 4 days, they get to the Betelgeuse system, they find a planet that seems very much like Earth. It's got oceans and jungles, and the atmosphere seems to be like Earth's. And everything's run by robots on the ship. And they have 3 or 4 shuttles, basically. So they all hop in, 3 people hop into a shuttle. They go down to the planet. As they're skimming, looking for a place to land, they see cities. So they land, and they encounter some humans. Bunch of naked humans. But they're very much like animals. And then eventually they are captured by the highest species on the planet, which is a bunch of apes. And so our main character, I wish I could remember his name. Oh, Ulysses, right? A journalist. He's the one we're following. He's captured. He's put in a cage. They're doing experiments on him. I'm just telling you the story. I guess I don't need to do that. So yeah, that's what else do you need to know at this point besides it's a well-written book. It does feel like something written in 1963, maybe even before that. It has that classic sci-fi style to the writing. And I like the characters. Well, as much as we get to know some of the characters. We don't really get to know the scientist that much. We learn a little bit about him. His assistant we learn nothing about. But Ulysses, of course, he's the one telling the story, so we get to know the most about him. When we meet other characters, be they human or ape, we get to know some of them. We learn about the ape society and how it works, as Ulysses learns. And it's a classic for a reason. It's absolutely fantastic. I gave it 5 out of 5 on Goodreads. And I don't know what else to say about it. I say read it. Now, you may have noticed that I have not said anything about any of the movies. And the only thing I'm going to say is this is very different than any of the movies that have been made. I'm a fan of the classics, the originals. I have a 5-disc set of the original movies. There's one movie that no one ever needs to talk about or think about ever again. And of the 3 new ones, I've seen the first 2. I own War for the Planet of the Apes, but I have not watched it yet. I love the new ones as well. But this is quite different. Don't go into this expecting to be reading the movie. There are a couple of... You know what? No, forget it. I'm not going to say that. Not even going to say it. I'm going to leave you hanging. You're wondering what I was going to say, and I'm not going to tell you. Just, if you like classic science fiction, if you like Planet of the Apes property, the IP, read this. It's a great classic science fiction book, but do not expect the movie, because that is not what it is. I mean, right off the bat, it's a reporter, a scientist, and his assistant are the 3 people that just take a rocket at a time when everybody's flying around in space. So that should give you a clue that things are different. So yeah, absolutely check it out. One of the reasons I read this for regular viewers, if you've watched my book haul videos recently, you know I've gotten a ton of Planet of the Apes stuff. I have a book that takes place concurrently with the original Planet of the Apes movie. I have a book that takes place, between the first Planet of the Apes movie and the second one. And then I have some omnibus books that are novelizations of the second, third, fourth, fifth Planet of the Apes movies, and the movie that shall not be named, and the Planet of the Apes TV show. And I want to read through all of those, but I figured the place to start was with the original, which I have read before. I remembered very little about it except for the end, including I had completely forgotten the part about the couple that's sailing in space and find this message in a bottle. But so this isn't going to be an official series. I'm not going to come up with a new playlist or anything. I'm just going to, as I read these Planet of the Apes books, they'll just be low-budget review show books, but it is something I'm going to sort of weave in to the things I'm reading. But I'm talking about this. Highly recommended. 5 out of 5. Great classic science fiction. If you're lucky, get yourself a 3D cover. I did take out the 3D glasses and kind of hold them up. Unfortunately, now that I'm a glasses wearer myself, I gotta position them just right. And I love 3D type of stuff like this. There's actually apparently a Call of Cthulhu 3D from the same publisher, but I've had absolutely no luck finding that. All right, so that's it. So let's see. The question of the video obviously is going to be about Planet of the Apes. But there's so many things I could ask. I think I'm going to do this. Have you seen the Mark Wahlberg, Tim Burton version of Planet of the Apes? And if you have, what did you think? I said it's the movie that shall not be named, but obviously I'm naming it. I'll tell you, I am not a fan. I was very excited for it. I'm not a Tim Burton fan. I'm not a Tim Burton hater. I enjoy some of his stuff. Not big into some of his other stuff. So his name didn't have much to do with my excitement level. It was cool. There's going to be a new Planet of the Apes movie, but I thought it bombed. I thought the ending was horrible. I just did not dig it on any level. And I haven't, maybe my opinion would change. That happens on occasion, but I haven't bothered to watch it again because there's so many other things to read and watch. I'm not going to go back and watch that. I am going to read the novelization, and I will tell you that I peaked, and it has a different ending, or doesn't even include the ending from the movie, which I'm happy about. Which I heard, I don't know if it's true, I've heard that ending was tacked on, so the novelization may have been written before that was even part of the film, and maybe that's why it's not there. But either way, what are your thoughts? Have you seen it? What do you think of it? I could go a little more general. What are your feelings on Planet of the Apes, the Planet of the Apes intellectual property as a whole? Do you like the new ones? Do you dig the old ones? Do you not care about intelligent apes? I do. I'm a big fan. All right, so that's our question of the video, or multiple questions. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comics, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. And that's it. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith, and until next time, read more books.